Strasburg didn't dominate last night, but he kept things buttoned up long enough, riding a rejuvenated Nats offense to a much-needed win. Livan Hernandez faces Edinson Volquez in the series finale from Cincinnati.
It's a great day for baseball.
Getting ready for a Thursday matinee at Great American Ballpark, downtown Cincinnati. Game 4 of the series. The Nats a badly needed win. It had some twists and turns to it last night, and Washington held on to beat the Reds, and they could use another one today and make this a 3-4 road trip. Bob Carpenter and Rob Dibble. I guess it took the rain to cool off the weather and to heat up the bats.
And I think a couple of guys that deserve mention. Nyjer Morgan did a great job disrupting pitching, and Ian Desmond. But this is how it all started with the rain on Tuesday night. Had not been swinging the bats well, and they came out smoking. Zim hit a home run. Morse hit a triple off the right field wall, and things started to cook from there.
And then, of course, the Nats got the big home run by Guzman last night, a 1-1 game. That really helped Strasburg and the Nats go on to that win.
And like I said, at the time, Desmond was dancing around on second base, and Arroyo made that mistake, and then the floodgates opened up and scored plenty of runs, and it would hold up. Here's Nyjer Morgan with a huge hit. Had a couple of clutch hits the night before, so he's been swinging a hot bat. And then, obviously, Willie Harris with the huge home run off of Arthur Rhodes later in the game.
Here's a stat for you in this series. Nyjer Morgan and Christian Guzman have combined for 7 RBIs. So the previous ball games, no offense at all. The last 2, the Nats 15 runs, 17 hits, and they're doing well suddenly with runners in scoring position. Adam Dunn hitting .279 with an on-base percentage of .370, tied for 3rd in the league in home runs. And at the age of 30, he's established himself as a bona fide slugger. We'll cover the bases with him today. It's a long way from Caney, Texas. On Masson, brought to you by AT CIN. Rethink possible. And by Suzuki in the amazing new Kizashi midsize sports sedan. The sun is in and out from behind the clouds here in Cincinnati. Warm, muggy afternoon. This ballpark plays small on days like this. It's the Nats and the Reds, Game 4. Christian Guzman bats 5th today with Bernardina up in the number 2 spot. Chris John only 2 hits and 10 at-bats in the series, but a home run and 3 batted in. Willie Harris, Adam Kennedy, Will Nieves behind him, and here's Edinson Volquez, 27-year-old right-hander. His career mark is 25-19. He's had injury issues this year. It's only his second start back, and he makes his second career start against the Nationals.
PNC Bank scouting report brought to you by PNC. For the achiever in us all. Was a Texas Ranger. Now he's a Red. He came over in the Josh Hamilton trade, and as Bob talked about, they repaired his ulnar collateral ligament and his torn flexor mass back in September 3rd of last year. It's only his second start coming back from that. But he's a quick healer because it was less than a year ago. Tough to hit. Last year at the time of his injury, he was leading the league in toughest to hit against with a 191 batting average against.
Nyjer Morgan steps in, 3 for 11, 4 RBIs in the series. Volquez ready. Underway at 12:36 here. Partly cloudy, 85 degrees, and look at that humidity. It's almost up to 80%. Nyjer, did he stop his swing? His body was corkscrewing in that batter's box, and he managed to not bring the bat around. Two and 0. And Nyjer shows bunt and takes one in there. Normally, Dan Radisson coaches first base for the Nats. Today, it's bench coach John McLaren getting duty. We'll try to find out why. Hopefully, no problem with Dan. But it's McLaren, a very, very good long-time baseball man himself.
Was a coach back here in the 90s with the Reds.
Spent a lot of time in his career with Lou Piniella.
Did.
And that's 3-1 now, and a pitch outside. And a 3-1. Nyjer takes it up high. He's aboard to start the game. Reds defensively. Joey Votto is not in the lineup today. Ramon Hernandez, a catcher by trade, is off the DL, and he's playing first base across from Miguel Cairo. So Votto gets the day off. All the other regulars are in, of course, with the exception of Scott Rowland, who is injured, and the Reds expect him back this weekend when they go to Houston. 1 RBI, 2 hits. Roger Bernardina had a good night last night and a very active night in right field. Morgan with a medium lead. He's holding. Ball 1. And Volquez having a hard time getting around his pitches, Rob. He's missing a weight to the left-handers.
And a great point, Bob. When you're coming back and rehabbing an injury, you're going to be very strong because you're doing 3-a-days. You're going and rehabbing with weights and all the rubber bands and all that kind of stuff. So your arm feels great, but it's not baseball great. And you need to get a lot of starts under your belt before you get the feel for your breaking balls and get a feel for where your release point is. And right now, it just looks like he's running out there quick with his delivery. He's normally kind of slow. Probably a lot of adrenaline. Is only his second start since the surgery last year in September at the major league level.
6 real good innings Saturday against the Rockies. He only gave up 3 hits, 1 run in 6 innings of work with a couple of walks and 9 strikeouts.
Did a couple of rehabs down in Double-A, 3 innings, 5 innings. Then he did 4 more down in Louisville, 5, 6, 5, and 7 innings down there. Pitched very well. Bunch of strikeouts.
There's a strike on the inside corner. 6-year veteran Ed Hickox has the plate today. Field and Culbreth, Marty Foster, and the crew chief Gary Cedarstrom have the bases, first, second, and third.
And the humidity, you will drip sweat. Listen to a Reds pregame interview with Steven Strasburg. He talked, his jersey felt like it was 5 pounds heavier than normal because he was sweating so much last night.
And it got so slippery, the buttons kept slipping out of their slots, and he eventually changed both undershirt and outer shirt during the ball game.
Well, think about trying to grip the ball.
Yeah.
Sweat's pouring down your hand. You're trying to grip the ball, get something going on your breaking ball. Not very easy.
Morgan is running. It's an off-speed pitch, and that's a great pitch on which to steal a base.
It was.
And Orlando Cabrera just flipped the ball right back to Volquez without even looking at the bag. That's number 22 for Nyjer Morgan, and for the Nats, they're 68th of the year.
Well, timing is everything, and right here it looked like a situation was going to get a breaking ball, got a change up, and he steals second base easily. Also, Volquez, with not being able to find the strike zone, is taking a little extra time in his delivery. That helped Nyjer too.
Nats have had some production for the top of the lineup the last 2 games. Bernardina takes another off-speed pitch that floats up and away.
Well, it just looks like he doesn't have a feel right now. And what I mean by that is when you have your release point, that's the last thing you're thinking about. When you don't have a release point, that's the first thing you're thinking about. How are my mechanics? How can I get my elbow up in front of my body to deliver the ball? And you made a great point. He can't get out in front of the pitch. He's dragging his arm behind his body.
And Bernardina just swung at ball 4. Now it's 3-2.
So when your body's flying forward, flying towards first base, you're going to leave a lot of pitches up and away from a left-handed hitter. And that's exactly where it is, but Bernardina goes up and helps him.
Yeah, if you're the Nats, you hope he didn't just give the at-bat away, because you've got Zimmerman and Dunn coming up. Brian Price watching with concern early in the ball game. Bernardina will lift one to center. Can Morgan tag? He will. Throw by Stubbs. Safe at third. Nyjer just got in under that one-hop throw. And Dusty Baker's coming out of the Reds dugout to talk to Gary Cedarstrom.
I love the aggressiveness of Nyjer Morgan, but it looked like a very good throw by Drew Stubbs. Gary Cedarstrom gives the base to Nyjer Morgan, and so Dusty not particularly happy with the call. Well, ball not hit particularly hard. Stubbs will catch it, one hop it right to third base, and
bang bang
bang bang play. Looked like Cairo tagged him though on the outside of the arm, and like Nyjer got the hand in first. I mean, Gary Cedarstrom's all over it.
In fact, Edinson Volquez doesn't even want that baseball. Just threw it over toward the dugout. And he'll face Ryan Zimmerman now with a runner at third and 1 out.
It's a bad luck ball.
You might have noticed Zimmerman third, Dunn fourth today. It's been the other way the last couple days. Trying to get Adam Dunn going on deck. He's 0 for 10 in this series. Zimmerman 4 for 10 with a home run, 2 RBIs. He'll take a fastball up and in. Reds a solid defensive ball club, of course, top 2 in the league. Only San Diego making fewer errors. Ryan warming things up here in the month of July. His on base percentage is up to .387, 9th best in the league, and he's hitting almost .300. Nats are having a hard time laying off the high stuff of Edinson Volquez. That's 2 pitches on which they've helped him.
Well, and it looks great to a hitter when it's belt high, but because of his velocity and him being a little bit erratic, by the time he gets to home plate, it's chest high, and you got no shot of hitting it. Like you said about Bernardina, he might maybe gave the at bat away by swinging the ball forward.
So Volquez clocked at 94 here early.
Well, it looked like he slowed everything down, got all of his mechanics quiet, and then he just blisters one in there at about 94 miles an hour.
Caught right in front of the catcher's mask, usually an indication it's low enough to be a strike. And it's 1-2 to Zim, looking for RBI number 51. Target away. Is it a breaking ball? Nope. Ground ball to first. That'll be slow enough to score the speedy Morgan. Just as good as a sac fly for the Nats, and Zimmerman does collect number 51. And that's the first time in 20 games the Nationals have scored the first run of a ball game. It has been third time, pardon me, in 20 games. It's been a July where the Nats have just been constantly playing from behind. So the speed of Nyjer Morgan, because of the leadoff walk, literally manufacturing a run.
Well, and Volquez is trying to find the zone, so he's really just firing it towards home plate, not trying to locate it too much, and he's able to just punch it to first base.
Adam Dunn gets around early. Look out, folks.
So until Edinson starts throwing some breaking balls effectively, he's just essentially throwing some hard fastballs in there. Guys are going to tee off on it.
Adam having a rough series. 4 walks, but he's 0 for 10. Covering the bases with Adam Dunn. First week of November, born in Houston, Caney, Texas, where he went to high school. Oh, and we've got a family photo album today that'll just delight you. And I'm sure Adam will be very delighted that we will share those with you.
I hope he's not TiVoing the game. And thankfully he's on the field playing and not in the clubhouse.
He'll find us.
Oh.
1-2 to Dunn. Off speed, a big breaking ball.
Hannigan blocking it with his body. Get rattled around on both arms.
And of course, this is the ball club that drafted Adam Dunn, second rounder in '98. He played 4 years in the minors, hit 63 minor league home runs, and drove in 220. The Reds called him up right after the All-Star break in '01 after he'd hit 2 homers at Indianapolis in the AAA All-Star game. That's a fastball high and tight. 2-2. 3-2 now.
That's some good giddy up on that one. That was around 94, 95, 94 on the gun. Phew. This kind of weather, though, is perfect for somebody coming back from an arm injury.
Reds play a shallower infield shift on him than other ball clubs do. He went. And Adam Dunn is 0 for 11 in Cincinnati here. Nats get a run on the Niger Morgan walk, the steal, a fly ball, a grounder. Washington on the board. This ballpark was full for Steven Strasburg's start last night. He went to 5-2. And here come the Reds, hitting .271, leading the National League in batting average. Runs, second in homers, and they can run their fifth in steals. What's up with Miguel Cairo, we're wondering. 5 out of 8, 4 walks, a homer, 4 RBIs in this series. And spelling Scott Rowland at third. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 9 starts, batting .435. Livan Hernandez on a day game against a hard-hitting Cincinnati offense. Now, he has faced them one time this year. I'll tell you about that after Rob gives you the scouting report.
PNC Bank scouting report. Keep it down, low. Day games, ball's going to carry. Turn off the radar guns. He's not going to break maybe 86 miles an hour today. And he will move the ball all over the place. Up, down, in, out. try to keep the ball away from the power hitters.
Levon throws it in there to Brandon Phillips, who shortened up, and that drew Zimmerman in from third. Brandon Phillips in this series just 1 for 8. Had a night off last night, couple of walks. He's still second in the league in hits. To Atlanta's Martin Prado. Outside. So Levon against Cincinnati in that big offense on June 4th. 6 innings, scattering 8 hits. 2 earned runs. He walked 4, struck out 3, but the Nats came away with a 4-2 win. Levon, though, in his career, not that good against Cincinnati. 2-7 in 14 starts with a 5.5 ERA. Phillips has also scored more runs than anybody in the National League, 70. That ball floats in there, and it floats out beyond second. Adam Kennedy. Here comes Bernardina. It's the right fielder's call, and he takes it as he should. Well, the Nationals are holding steady defensively lately. The errors are further between than they were for 2 months. In fact, the Florida Marlins now are creeping up, and they've made 76 errors to the Nationals 78. Guzman, Kennedy up the middle. Will Nieves behind the plate after Pudge Rodriguez caught the first 3 games of this series. And Willie Harris gets a start. Willingham a rest today. Here's Orlando Cabrera, 2 for 12 in this 4-game series. A couple of RBIs and 2 walks. Good experience, number 2 hitter. Great defensive shortstop. And he'll go the other way if you let him. And he's aboard with 1 out.
Well, and that's the right approach, especially when Levon gets ahead of you. He's going to throw something off the plate, trying to make sure that you can't get good wood on it, hit it off the end of the bat. Cabrera's smart enough to know, okay, I'll probably get something off speed and away. He just takes the approach to right field, and he gets himself a base hit.
And, of course, Cabrera, a former Expo who won a Gold Glove in Montreal 9 years ago. His batting average down a bit this year. Came in a .275 career hitter. He was hitting .249 into that AB. And here's Jay Bruce at .259.
Well, and the key to Levon is right there. Strike 1. Now he can throw an assortment of big curveballs at 65 miles an hour. He can throw some kind of running fastball in at the hip of Bruce. We've seen him do all kinds of stuff to move the ball around, but getting ahead, now he can make you go fishing for something that he wants you to hit on the ground. Down and away. So if you try to pull that ball down and away, it's going to go right to second base. Hopefully we can turn a double play.
And this is Joey Votto's spot in the order with him getting a day off. Bruce bumps up to number 3. And of course Scott Rowland not available till the weekend. Here's a 1-1. Off speed. Ball 2. Marlins are underway in an early matinee against the Rockies, and they've had a couple of home runs. Ian Stewart of the Rockies, Cody Ross of the Marlins, his 8th. 2-1 Florida, 2nd inning.
Joey Votto checking things out. Top step.
I love the way that guy competes. In the air to left for Willie Harris.
I was just fixing to say about Bruce and now Gomes. If you do anything against them, make them beat you the other way. They're big power guys. If you miss with a changeup up in the zone with Gomes or Bruce, it's out of here.
Here comes Johnny. He has a solo homer in the series, 4 for 13.
And it was a pitch up and in, big breaking ball. Came after him last night with power stuff and very effective.
Tied with his teammates, 64 RBIs, 5th best in the league. James Loney of the Dodgers also has 64. Ryan Howard homered last night. He leads the National League with 75. Corey Hart, the only other guy, at 70. The Nats will see him tomorrow.
Oh, nice matchup today, too, in a matinee at 2:15. Hamels and Wainwright
in St. Louis. And the Phillies will be trying to stop an 8-game St. Louis winning streak.
Think it'll be hot there?
Oh, yeah. And muggy. River City, just like this place. In fact, the Reds now, after they lost here last night, a game and a half behind St. Louis. It's a 2-game race in the Central. The Cubs and the Brewers, 11 and a half out. Yeah, you can just shoot those two, and that's it for the Central. Gomes over the long haul, which entails about the last 9 weeks, hitting .301. Levon holding the ball forever, freezing the runner, and then freezing the hitter as Johnny Gomes takes a strike. Here comes Guzman, 3 RBIs in this series. Guzman for the Nationals. Willie Harris, Adam Kennedy, as Jim Riggleman loads up the lineup with lefties, including Guzman, who hit just his 2nd homer of the year last night and robbed the 62nd of his career.
But look at the location. I mean, it was up and in. You don't want to go down and in on lefties, but up and in with a guy with quick wrists and quick hands like Guzman. It was all about getting the meat part of the bat on that ball. Got 2 homers on the year.
Yes, he does. First pitch changeup.
He's more of a slasher. Likes to hit gaps, hit down lines, doubles and triples.
There were a couple of times when Guzman hit some home runs in Minnesota. In 01, he hit 10 homers, drove in 51, and stole 25 bases. Went to the All-Star game. The following year, he hit 9, playing half of his games in the Metrodome, which, of course, had a very cozy right field. And a 1-1, he helps out Volquez. Ball was off the plate, now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you saw him try to pull it. As a pitcher, that's what you're trying to do. You want the guy to try to pull that outside 93, and he hits it on the ground. But the thing about the 10 home runs for a guy who's a line drive hitter, he's not trying to hit home runs. He's just trying to hit hard line drives. And if you hit it and it's a little bit on the upper side of the bat, it's going to go.
Well, he swung at the ball and took the strike, and Guzman is gone. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Volquez. Let's check in with our Luna double here in the 2nd inning. Doubles leaders for the Nats this season. Dunn and Zimmerman both over 20. And Ian Desmond continues to hit extra base hits. Desmond drove in 2 last night, has 39 RBIs. Call for the Luna double. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. We talk about all things dealing with the number 2 during the 2nd inning. And here's Willie Harris. Willie gets around early and hacks it foul. He has 2 hits in the series. And the man Rob calls Hot Rod Harris hit his 5th of the year here last night.
Well, it's a 2-0 pitch right there by Arthur Rhodes, just trying to get back in the count. Location was down the middle instead on the outer half. It was home run time. Had been a while for Willie Harris. Good to see him tripping around the bases.
And not many have done any kind of damage against Arthur Rhodes this year. That gave the Nats some insurance with a blast leading off the ninth. The final 8-5 spread off of that home run.
But even in the best guys, if you fall behind, get into trouble. Now Volquez has settled down. His mechanics a little softer, a little slower and quieter. Now he's getting his breaking balls and changeups over.
Well, he has to shorten up now on 1-2. Looks like he's choked up a bit.
Well, and I really like the way these young pitchers for the Reds compete. Volquez, Cueto, Travis Wood, who's come up, Mike Leake, who spent no time in the minor leagues. So he has no idea that he's not supposed to be this good this soon.
Homer Bailey's out on his rehab. Aaron Harang is still injured. That's a fastball up and in.
Yeah, Arroyo and Harang are kind of the old workhorses, so to speak. Harang, tons of innings over the last few years with the Reds. Same with Arroyo. There's, what, 3-4 years ago? Led the major leagues in innings pitched. 2 of them.
3-2 to Harris now with 1 out in the second. That was Arroyo with Leake. And Willie takes it off the plate. He didn't bite on that pitch like some of the other left-handers have. And the Nats have their second base runner. So here in Cincinnati, just beyond the 2 o'clock hour, the Nats on top early. Niger Morgan walked, stole a base, advanced on a Bernardina fly ball, scored on a Zimmerman grounder. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, and Byron Kerr reporting from around the ballpark here. The finale of the 4-game series. That'll bring up Adam Kennedy with 1 down. Adam, 2 walks in the series, 1 for 3. Good run on that fastball. They give Kennedy a lot of room down the right field line. Bruce and Stubbs bunch toward the gap just a bit.
They're pitching him in.
And the 1-1. Probably 90 feet off the line is Bruce and right.
Well, the wind's kind of blowing from right field to left field.
Yeah, the breeze coming right up the river today, blowing toward the east here. Willie doesn't run a lot. His playing time has been sparing. He's 2 for 4 in stolen bases, but if you don't hold him, he'll go and he'll steal. The Nats have stolen 68 bases now with Morgan's in the first inning. 3rd in the league. Padres have 82. The Mets have 87. Inside, 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 and now he's missed with the last 2.
Those some pretty good pitches by Volquez. The UPS store here on the pitch track. Looked like a good 2-seam fastball. UPS store pitch track. Nationals pitch track is packaged by the UPS store. We do a lot more than shipping, like offering moving boxes and supplies. That's a perfect company for Levon Hernandez moving the ball around the strike zone. Trying to do this little box.
You're right.
Levon, brought to you by UPS.
They don't have to worry about the box breaking open either. Harris holding again. Kennedy unable to get to a high pitch. He foul tipped it. So he needs contact now with a 2-strike count. Nats don't have a hit yet. They've piled up 17 in the last 2 games and scoring 15 runs. Inside target again. Off the plate, 3-2.
He is running a two-seam fastball with a lot more velocity, but exactly what Levon does to lefties. He throws it right at their hip. He wants it to run back over the plate, and it's going to lock up a left-handed hitter. He's not going to swing because it looks like it's come right at him. That one was a little bit farther in, but he had thrown a couple right on the corner.
He threw 21 pitches in the first inning, and this is the fourth batter that has taken Edinson Volquez to a full count. So his pitch count on a very hot, steamy day is piling up. Runner going, and he walks Kennedy up and away. From here, it's on to Milwaukee. Night game tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, with Craig Stammen against Chris Narveson. J.D. Martin and Manny Parra 1 hour earlier Saturday. Now, Luis Adelano has been scratched from his start on Sunday. DC 50 will join us. And then after the day off, the Braves in for 3, and then the Phillies on the next homestand. In fact, Jim Riggleman said this morning that Adelano has been scratched from his next 3 to 4 starts. The Nats don't need a lot of starting help because there's a day off, but they will need to have somebody take care of business on Sunday, and it could be somebody from the bullpen. Byron Kerr has some info on that for us, and we'll get to Byron as Will Nieves steps in here, 2 on, 1 out. He throws a good breaking ball to the right-hander after seeing all those lefties. The Nationals in this series, at least after Monday night, have done pretty well. 9 for 23 with runners in scoring position, so an overall mark in this series of 391. Will hitting a .190 with 11 RBIs. They might approach this thing now. Don't swing until this guy throws you 2 strikes in a row. He has seldom done that so far today.
Well, and right now he's just fighting himself out there, fighting his mechanics, fighting. You know, when you hurt yourself, you're looking for the pain. You're feeling for the pain. You're trying to figure out, well, if I throw this at 100%, this breaking ball, will it hurt my elbow again?
Big breaking ball, and Nieves pulled off it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a very nice one. That's Chris Carpenter years ago when he came back from his elbow issues, and he said it took him 3 starts to feel comfortable to where he was more in tune with attacking the hitter instead of worrying about mechanics and is my arm going to fall off and all that kind of junk. It's just a mental process you got to go through and break through adhesions, things from the surgery, opening up your muscles and tendons and getting back to just being a regular pitcher again.
Now this will be interesting because Nieves' strength is going to right field. We'll see if Volquez works him away. He's been busting a lot of hitters inside. Target is away. Will evidently holds up. They appeal, and Field and Culbreth says no swing.
There's the plate right there. It's kind of tough to see from that angle. It looked like it was close.
By the way, our camera angle here in Cincinnati, the dugout camera over there is well behind home plate. Some ballparks we shoot right into the batter's box from the side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Will. Up and in, ball 3, another full count. You know, and if you're Cincinnati, you're looking at the batting averages at this stage of the lineup. Willie Harris, 186, he walked him. Adam Kennedy, 243, walked him. Will Nieves, 190, the count's 3-2, and the pitcher's on deck.
Like I said, he's not battling Will Nieves right now.
Yeah.
He's Edinson Volquez is having his own issues with himself.
Runners going, breaking ball, bases loaded. To a hitter with very little power, Volquez did not throw a heater on 3-2, and he's walked the bases full.
Well, he just can't find a comfort zone. Ryan Price is going to go out and say, what's going on? When you're trying to get yourself right, you're thinking of all the things that went wrong leading up to when you hurt your arm. And it's just like we talked with Ross Detweiler or Zimmerman. Today is a more important day for those guys on rehab because you want to see how Detweiler's hip feels and how the elbow feels for Jordan Zimmerman. But now you're at the stage here where you're big league ready. That means you're healthy enough to pitch in the major leagues. That doesn't mean mentally you're ready to pitch in the major leagues. And right now, every pitch, he's mechanically fighting himself.
Boy, we thought he had a long first inning with 21 pitches. Here in the second inning, he's thrown 22 more, retiring one batter. So he's at 43 pitches, 19 strikes. And Levon, of course, a good hitting pitcher, 9 career homers, 75 RBIs. This year he's 4 for 31. Now keep in mind there's a fast runner at third. You don't see the squeeze much anymore, but you sure don't want your pitcher hitting into a double play here either, if he swings away. Levon disinterested in the first pitch, ball 1.
Well, and I said this before, you know, you come back from surgery, they correct the issue, they fix the problem, but mentally you still think you have a problem. Right there, pretty decent mechanics, but too much out of the zone.
Levon with a base hit. Harris scores. Kennedy holds it third, and the Nationals lead 2-0. Somebody had to get a hit, and it turns out to be the pitcher with the first Washington base hit of the day. Levon Hernandez with his first RBI this year, 76th of his career.
Well, Volquez is struggling with command, just trying to get something over the plate. Throws a fastball, dead center. Bad location, even for a pitcher, and a very good hitting pitcher in Levon Hernandez. And he just finds a hole. Now we turn over the order.
Nyjer Morgan walked, stolen, scored first time. He goes up swinging and tips it.
And that's why I say don't worry about somebody's velocity. You got to worry about mentally how they're doing. You know, are they confident? Have they gotten over the fact that their arm is fine? They still think it might get hurt.
Nyjer helping out the pitcher. Getting way too frisky with that runner at third and less than 2 outs. Roger Bernardina, if the inning continues.
Just like last night, right back up the middle.
He's got to swing at anything remotely close right now. So at third base, Adam Kennedy, he walked. Wilmy Avis at second, he walked. Levon Hernandez at first with an RBI hit. Station to station so far because of the control issues of Volquez. Nyjer bumps one to the left side. They'll have to hurry for 2. No way to get that guy. And the Nationals lead 3-0. And Nyjer Morgan has his 5th RBI of this series.
Well, and that just shows that he's made a conscious effort and a turning point here. Make some contact. Good things will happen. And he's been in situations, even with 2 outs, where a base hit will score a run. Or even right there, a ground ball to the middle of the infield with his speed. That's just some good baseball right there.
And of course, he could be on the move here. Why not force Ryan Hannigan to maybe throw a ball down to second base with Wilmy Avis sitting at third? We'll see if Bernardina can work ahead in the count and make something happen here. Roger flied to center first time. Taking a big swing. His hand flew off the bat there. And of course, some guys, some managers in a situation like this may be more apt to run when your guy gets behind. Even if somebody gets thrown out, you'd have more
Well, this might
leading off.
be a better pitch right here, because this will probably be something off speed.
Niger has 1 foot out to the edge of that cut of grass. Inside target. He's holding. Volquez missed his spot, up and away. Counts even 1-1. Pitch count into the 50s now.
No balls and strikes. It's a mental game now for Edinson.
Morgan running. Swing and a miss. Throw. Safe. 2 in a row for Niger Morgan today. Nieves holding at third. And for Niger Morgan, his 23rd.
Well, and Edinson Volquez trying to get a little bit more mechanical together, keep the shoulder tight. Gives a good jump to Niger Morgan, and Hannigan cannot throw him out, even on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Niger with that left wrist brace on after he broke that hand last year. And Bernardina swings through one. Inning over. Crazy inning with only 1 base hit. The Nats pick up 2 runs and lead early 3-0. Nats lead 3-0. Visit afcia.org, the association for IT pros. And here's Byron. Lots of news in our sideline report today, BK.
Yeah, Mike Rizzo reporting that Luis Atalano is going to be going on the disabled list. Visited with Dr. Kremchek yesterday. The MRI revealing floating chips in his elbow. Will have a cortisone shot when he returns to D.C. They're going to try to rehab, see if he can go. If he can't go, then surgery for Atalano. Likely to miss a couple of starts here. So Rizzo has already picked a starter for Sunday. He won't tell us who it is. Some of the candidates include Matt Chico, 14 innings with no earned runs allowed. He's supposed to pitch Friday. Also tonight, John Lannon pitches. Detweiler and Zimmerman pitched yesterday. Olsen pitches tonight for Potomac. So some choices for Mike.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys pitching real close to Sunday, and that's why Riggleman said this morning it could be someone out of the bullpen, and if that was the case, it could be Batista. A lot of possibilities for the Sunday game in Milwaukee. Here's Ramon Hernandez returning from the DL. He's hitting .287, 3 homers, 23 RBIs, and coming off a problem with his left knee. He rips it, and right there to glove it is Adam Kennedy. Typical Levon letting them put the ball in play. It's a T-shirt Tuesday when the Braves come in July 27th, and Steven Strasburg scheduled to pitch at Nationals Park. First 10,000 fans, a free T-shirt presented by Hard Times Cafe. Nationals.com for all your ticket, giveaway, and promotion information. Next up, the center fielder, Drew Stubbs, who's had 4 hits and 2 RBIs in this series, and that's that under-the-radar curveball that Rob scouted back in the first inning.
Radar love, baby.
Radar love.
Yes, it is. Well, he's not looking up at the scoreboard to see how hard he's throwing. He just needs to hit his spots, work ahead, and make guys go fishing.
Levon will check an out-of-town score every once in a while.
Well, I didn't want to be really disparaging and say something like he's the old man in the sea.
He's a great,
he's wonderful
observer of this game.
Yes.
Look at that. And just getting a piece of it, Drew Stubbs.
He's just always so happy. He's definitely on my happy team. Kinetic right here on the pitch track. Forget about the radar on that. Very slow. 62. Nationals pitch track brought to you by Kinetic North America, providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers.
And he runs that fastball up. Just underway, San Diego at Atlanta. Padres won there last night with a late rally. Richard and Hudson pitching there. Had another called third strike. He got Johnny Gomes to end the first, and Drew Stubbs here for the second out in the second.
Well, slow curveballs. Threw an 84-mile-an-hour fastball. When you start looking for 65 and you get the 86, it looks like 90.
All right, this is the one hitter that we thought could give Levon trouble today, because Miguel Cairo has been there, done that, and he's not a guy with a fastball speed bat.
No, but if you throw, especially with the guys who throw really hard, and then you throw 83, he's going to be all over it. With a guy that throws 86, Cairo's going to be right on this gentleman.
He's had an amazing series. 5 for 8, an upper deck homer, 4 RBIs, 4 walks. Chopper to Zimmerman on the charts. Fair ball. Perfect by a step or less. Gold glove defense at third base again by Ryan Zimmerman. A 1-2-3 second for Levon. The Nats lead by 3. Three, 4, 5 for the Nats. Zimmerman done, not Willingham. Today it's Guzman. And Ryan's had a good series, Rob. He has 4 hits and 3 RBIs. And that homer opposite field on Tuesday night.
Couple of doubles, a lot of extra base hits. He's driving the ball well, going the other way. That slows him down, gets him comfortable. Start pitching him inside, then you go back away. He's just jumping all over it. That's when we know Zim is hitting the ball well, when he's hitting it to the right side of second base and hitting it deep to the alleys of the ballpark.
So Ryan, the second Nat over 50 RBIs. Dunn has 59. Ryan with an even 50. Josh Willingham getting the day off. He's sitting on 49. He can take care of that business in Milwaukee. Hey, he had 8 RBIs in one game there last year. And Zimmerman hits another line drive. He got a pitch up, and it's almost as if he was waiting for it. Here comes Adam Dunn, and evidently the die was cast early for Adam Dunn as a ball player.
Probably when I was 4 years old, I remember making the All-Star team as a catcher in T-ball, which if you knew anything about T-ball, that's not, the catcher's job is when the other guy swings and misses and knocks the ball off the tee, you just pick it up, put it on the tee for him. So I guess that's something to be happy about. I don't know.
Now, is he putting us on? I know the state of Texas is very competitive, but an all-star game for T-ball, or all-star team, come on. Sometimes you'll be having a serious conversation with him, and he'll drop something in there, and you get real unsure real quickly about exactly what he's doing. What a delight. And I know he wants to succeed here in Cincinnati very badly. They've pitched him well. A lot of check swings. They're jamming the heck out of him in these 4 games. And he's 0 for 11 with 4 walks.
He's a punky QB in high school. Had an opportunity to probably play college ball in Texas and be their quarterback back in the Major Applewhite days.
Threw for 4,792 yards and 44 TDs in high school. New Caney, Texas high school. He accepted a football scholarship with his beloved Longhorns, but the Reds came calling. And after drafting him in the 2nd round in '98, he signed with them. And of course, we've got pictures of Adam as a young kid. There's always some burnt orange that sneaks its way into his wardrobe or his accessories. 2-1 to Dunn. Way inside with a changeup. We're not done. He loves Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, and Roy Jones Jr. Great competitors. He likes that Tex-Mex food, and he likes to twang the country music.
Tombstone with Kurt Russell. It's also one of my favorites.
Big-time hunter, big-time fisherman, Adam Dunn.
Wouldn't have thought Weekend at Bernie's, though, with the dead guy they wheel around all the time.
Adam Dunn high in the air to left field. How far is it? Gone! Opposite field, Adam Dunn. He finally says hello to Cincinnati in this series. That'll be his 23rd. RBIs 60 and 61. And we're glad they're booing him now.
Big bad Dunn. Well, he gets to at least say goodbye. As we cover the bases with Adam, he covers the bases on a 3-1 pitch here. Volquez trying to just get it across. And so is Adam Dunn, trying to get it across that yellow line in left field. We saw just a nice swing down on the ball. It's not an uppercut. He's not trying to hit a big home run. It's a line drive on the top of the bat. And with his power, he can hit it out of any part of a ballpark.
Well, you mentioned the breeze earlier. There's no breeze that helped that ball.
Oh, no.
He just muscled it out of here for his 23rd. Adam Dunn now is up into the top 10 in RBIs with 61.
And good for him. Like
That's
you said, he's been wanting to do that.
He says, I'm a muscle man. I hit that ball about 360. That's Adam Dunn's 339th career home run.
To just show you, he wasn't that down about not hitting so well lately. He was being a prankster in the locker room today and had dismantled one of the clubhouse attendants' bikes and put pieces all over the clubhouse.
Yeah, he had somebody who snuck that bike into the clubhouse.
And he snuck it into every nook and cranny in little pieces.
Why wouldn't anybody want to have him on their team? I know they ripped him to shreds here in Cincinnati.
Hard to believe.
But, Adam is what he is. He strikes out a lot. Yep. He walks a lot. And he hits nearly 40 homers or drives in 100 runs or more every year.
And scores 100 runs a year. So it's, he's Mr. 100. And the 40 homers and just a lovable big guy, you know. I mean, he's a great guy because he's always pushing everybody else.
But somebody always expects him on strike 2 to become Rod Carew. It's not going to happen. And then he does some big-time damage.
And he definitely makes everybody around him better. That's how you measure a player. Does he make the rest of the lineup better? Absolutely.
Guzman on a breaking ball, 2-2. By the way, the Nats lead 5-0. Not to be lost in all of this.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
But I mean, Dunn, he made us laugh in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. Had an offer, made 2 really good plays at first base, and told me after the game, my glove's keeping me in the big leagues right now. A good take by Guzman as Volquez continues to bust him. And Gary Cederstrom, that was not even close to being a swing, and the count's 3-2. 6th full count of the game for Edinson Volquez, who may not be long for the afternoon. He's in the mid-60s on his pitch count. Nobody out in the 3rd inning. On a high heater, Guzman unable to reach it. And even the outs Volquez is getting are taking him a lot of pitches. 7 outs, 4 of them on strikes. Let's fire up the smartphone and look at some AT&T trivia today. The question, who are the only 2 Reds with 100 runs, RBIs, and walks in the same season? I'd say Dunn would have to be one of them, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's a good guess for covering the bases with him.
I would maybe venture a guess. I don't know if he was this selective, but my guess on the other might be George Foster. I don't know if George was patient enough to take 100 walks.
I don't know if it was Eric Davis. Eric struck out a lot too.
Well, they've had some amazing.
How about Joe
players.
Morgan? I'm going to say Joe Morgan.
Joe drive in 100?
Oh, yeah. He was an MVP a couple of times.
Willie Harris takes a changeup on the corner, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Smoking Joe Morgan. Yeah, he can play.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame town of Cooperstown this weekend with his buddy John Miller.
Yes, he will. Well, and I caught up with Andre Dawson. I'll tell you what he said to me in a minute.
Tell us now.
Well, he talked about quickening up his hands, and what he did is he cut the distance between the pitching machine and the plate that he stood at to halfway. And so when he was going bad, he would go back to that, crank it all the way up, move up basically halfway. And it got his hand speed and bat speed up there. But he said he took just as much time in practice in his defense and his base running. And thinks all of that stuff is important. And he talked to me about his speech on Sunday. And he will be talking to the African American youth of the country.
Nice. Another long count, 7th of the day. Well, hey, by the way, I shortchanged Adam Dunn. He hit that ball 365.
Well, and you and I have talked about this. The dwindling numbers of African Americans in the major leagues is under 10%. The Latinos or Hispanic percentage is over 30% now.
And Willie Harris launches one to right field. See you at the top of the wall. It stays in. Willie needs to keep on running. He gets to 3rd. Looked like a home run, and evidently it hit right on the yellow line and stayed in.
And Bruce brought it back in. It looked like he pulled it back with his glove. And I think Jim Riggleman's going to ask for an opinion on this call. Let's see the replay.
Well, either the fielder kept it in or the yellow line kept it in. Look at that.
The back of the wall kept it in. So I think that's a homer.
This will be interesting.
See if we can get another angle on this, maybe from the outside the wall view.
Well, Willie Harris at worst is at 3rd base. I don't know if somebody in the infield deked him. Looks like the umpires are heading in to have a look. Now that's Field and Culbreth whose call it was. The crew chief is Gary Cederstrom, the 3rd base umpire. Now usually the home plate umpire stays on the field and the other 3 go in.
Well, I mean, you have the technology. It deserves a look.
They're going. We'll start the stopwatch.
Let's just check it out again. I mean, Jay Bruce goes all the way back to the wall. His glove goes up over the yellow. It might have hit the yellow and come back.
I don't know if that green awning is flush with the back of the line. It looks, if they configured that properly, and obviously there are some uneven surfaces there.
I think it hit the top of the fence and came back. I think they're going to leave the call on the field.
Doug Slayton is out there reaching over the top of the yellow line to see what that ball might have hit. So the Nationals bullpen is providing their own
CSI out there on the home run. It looks like it hits the yellow and comes back.
How about that? Right at the very top of that pad after Willie homered here last night.
Great camera work, everybody.
But these ballparks, look at that. There's a lot of uneven surfaces right along there.
Why are there pipes coming up over the fence?
And Slayton's wondering. Yeah, well, that happened at Nationals Park. There are some supports.
Did they cut the pipes?
I don't think they have yet.
No,
I suggested they do.
Didn't they put some other padding up higher at Nationals Park? We talked about that last time we were there.
They're pointing to third base, so it stands as a triple. All right, the hitters take control here with one out and get Willie in. It'll be just as good as a long ball, and that assignment will be Adam Kennedy's.
Well, and you really see Edinson Volquez just trying as much as he can to get it together, get the mechanics working, but he's fighting his own rehab battle right now out in the mound.
Infield in. Kennedy tries to make it 6-0 here. Carlos Fisher just added to the bullpen yesterday.
It's just a question of, as a pitcher coming back from an arm injury, you're spending way too much time thinking about yourself, your mechanics, your release point. You need to think more about the hitters. The comfort level in your head.
Change up outside. Volquez has 7 outs today and has thrown over 70 pitches.
When I asked Steven Strasburg about why he didn't throw more changeups, he said he just wasn't feeling it yesterday. And that's something, when one of those field pitches doesn't feel right, don't even throw it.
Ball 2.
Nice day for the young man. And a couple of runs came at the end there in the 6th inning.
I know Steven was irritated he didn't finish off that 6th and give Drew Storn a clean slate in the 7th. 2-1 pitch to Kennedy. He'll ground it right through the infielders, Hernandez and Phillips. And the Nationals lead 6-0 on Adam Kennedy's 17th RBI.
That'll do it.
Volquez will throw right around the mid-70s on his pitch count. Gets 7 outs, and the Nats will knock him out.
Well, pitch just a little up in the zone. Adam gets up on top of it. With the infield pulled in, they can't afford another run to get in, and it becomes 6-0 here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Nats into the Reds bullpen early. The dugout feeling good about that offense now. On Masson, brought to you by the Mitsubishi Lancer and by Hager. Established 1926, your own great moment starts at Hager.com. Well, a ball game like this will get the fans to roaming the concourses early in the ball game, looking for some cool shade, maybe some refreshment. Edinson Volk has 75 pitches, 38 strikes out of the ball game after 2 1/3. 27-year-old right-hander Carlos Fisher, an 11th rounder 5 years ago, pitched 39 games here last year. Just called up. He's made 11 appearances previously for the Reds this year with a frightening 9.82 ERA. The hitter's Will Nieves, who walked his first time. Livan Hernandez on deck. And if you don't pay attention to Adam Kennedy, he'll sneak a steal on you. He's done it 10 times this year without being caught. 6-0 Washington, 3rd inning.
Well, and right here for Will Nieves, just Fisher tried to get ready in a hurry, let him come to you and throw a few strikes or 1 strike. Don't help him out.
Well, Nieves goes up in the air and foul ball right side.
Looked like ball 2. This kind of inning is tough on the defense because I've been standing out there in that humidity and that heat.
Nieves pulls it. Double play ball. Cabrera Phillips. And they go 6-4-3 to put an end to the top of the 3rd inning. 3 more for the Nationals. The big blow. The opposite field homer. Adam Dunn. His 23rd. Harris and Kennedy team up to add another. 6-0 Washington. Cincinnati, but this one was no comparison to one he hit back in 04. He talks about the matchup with Jose Lima.
That was kind of a funny deal. You know, I got him, I think, 3-2 count, and you know, he had a really good changeup, and he hung me a changeup, and you know, I just kind of knew it was coming and hit it really good. And as I'm running around the bases, you know, he's yelling at me, telling me, you know, He really literally met me at home plate telling me, that was a bomb, but he didn't care because it was only a solo and this and that. So.
Well, if you're going to give up a home run, you don't want it to be a cheapie. And to say that it was a solo home run, he should have got maybe a couple more runs for that one. He told me it was 535 feet, and that obviously a couple of those signs and things weren't there, but it was over the riverboat, and that is just, when you're sitting up where we are in the press box, that is just a massive blowout to center field.
Well, it's as high as we are, and it's almost 500 feet away, more than that. By the way, he hit 46 home runs that year. Here's our view from our high home camera just to the left of us.
Now just imagine, it went way up over that riverboat in center field.
Ryan Hannigan, the catcher, against Levon. That's outside. And again, Dunn that year hit 46 homers, drove in 102.
And our thoughts and prayers do go out to Jose Lima's family as he passed away recently.
Yeah, we sure miss guys like that. This game needs characters. 3-1. Levon doesn't want to come out and walk the number 8 guy with a pitcher coming up next. Looks like Fisher is in the game for a while. He'll be batting. Levon Hernandez, 2 innings, 25 pitches, a base hit, 2 strikeouts. And of course, he drove in a run with his bat back in the second. Two hopper. Guzman has to wait for it, but there's a catcher running. And an easy first out here in the third. Let's have a look at our AT&T trivia and try to nail down the Cincinnati hitters with all these century mark accomplishments. The only 2 Reds with 100 runs, RBIs, and walks in the same season. We think Adam Dunn's one of them.
I'm going Joe Morgan.
All right. Well done.
Finally got one right. But look at Adam Dunn, has done it 3 times. 04, 05, and 07. A lot of those runs come from the 100 walks. The patience that he has at the plate, but we've seen him this year expand the zone, haven't we, Bob?
Yeah, but like that 04 season, 46 homers, 102 RBIs. The only thing some people remember are the 195 strikeouts. Selective memory at times regarding certain players.
I just don't understand why they dislike him. What could he have possibly done in a negative way to offend the fans here?
Well, he hasn't played in the same division for any other ball club. From here to Arizona, then on to the Nats. So he's gone Central, West, East. Adam enjoys hunting, fishing, and giving his teammates a hard time. Swing and a miss, and Levon Hernandez has his 3rd strikeout. That was Fisher's 3rd major league at bat.
We love him.
Yeah, that's still a Cincinnati record.
I know that.
Let's see what Adam hit that year. His batting average was .266.
Big Clue, I think, had 49 home runs. I know George Foster had 52 one year. I'm trying to think who the 4th is there. Or the 3rd, because he's 4th on the list.
Here's the top of the order, and Brandon Phillips. He flied to Bernardina, first time up. By the Reds have agreed to terms on a minor league deal with Jason Isringhausen, who Walt Jocketty had in St. Louis. Jason trying to make a comeback. Man, that's slowing down a guy's bat. On the charge, Guzman. A great inning for Levon, considering how long he was on the bench in the 3rd inning. A long first 3 innings of this ball game, but it's all Nationals 6-0. Nyjer Morgan's been involved, scoring a run, driving one in, stealing 2 bases. Adam Dunn hitting his 23rd home run of the year, RBI total up to 61. And then there's Levon, 36 over 26, his pitching line through 3. So he's getting 12 pitches per frame.
Very efficient day right now for Mr. Hernandez, and then got us going with that base hit. Bases loaded as Volquez loaded it up with some walks and finally tried to throw a strike, and you can't get it by Levon.
He'll lead off here in the 4th.
Wow.
Oh, I guess he was thinking of his 10th career home run here on this high ball.
Or he thought differently halfway through the swing.
That was almost like he thought it was a breaking ball, then it kept coming up and in.
Thought it was a breaking ball, got the fastball. And he gets it again.
Nyjer Morgan now having a productive series. 2 runs scored, 5 driven in, and that's right over the helmet of the Nats pitcher. That's look like a slider. Best thing Levon could do here would be foul off 3 or 4 more pitches and make the guy work.
I think the best thing would be just to hit a ground ball, go back in a cold corner of the dugout.
Or the clubhouse.
Yeah, the clubhouse, and conserve some energy.
Clubhouse here in Cincinnati, very close behind the dugout.
There's a blower down in the tunnel. Go get in there, get some cool air.
Nyjer Morgan, a busy leadoff man today, Rob Dibble.
He's done a great job this series. And when he gets on, he's disruptive. Steals a base after being walked. And then he will come in on the little hit to third base. And the next time up, steals second base.
So he drove in Kennedy, stole another base after that RBI ground ball.
Well, he got the fielder's choice to shortstop, but that was still good baseball. Just put it up the middle on the ground.
And then run.
And then run. And they could not double up his speed. When he gets on the base paths or when he's putting the ball in play, good things are going to happen.
I think we all knew that when he hit .351 for the Nationals after coming over from the Pirates last summer, that was not something that would be normal for him. He was never really an everyday player. But the Nats had certainly hoped for more than .256, which was his average coming in. He'll sneak one up the middle, and he has his 4th base hit of the series and might be running again.
Well, just hit it where it comes from, or hit it where it's pitched. He's gotten some gotten doubles down the right field line, gotten some right down the middle, puts it right back up the middle.
And the Nats have out-hit the Reds 6-1. Here's Roger Bernardino.
Well, when things are going the other way for you and they're not going right, just try to simplify. What can you do to get things going? Well, put the ball in play, make some contact, and he's done a good job of that this series.
Bernardino, fly ball to center, swinging strikeout. Byron Kerr handed me a note that said the Nats, after the 3rd inning today, have now scored 21 runs in their last 21 innings after scoring 6 in the previous 36. Bernardino with a big rip, and the count's 0-2. No change in that Colorado at Florida matinee. Cody Ross's 2nd inning homer, the difference. Marlins 2, Rockies 1. Braves are all over the Padres, though, early. 2 in the 1st, a run in the 2nd to back Tim Hudson, who's 9-5, and they lead San Diego 3-0. That Detroit ball club really struggling over in the American League. They won last night, but they had lost 7 in a row, and they're trailing at home to the Blue Jays 2-0. Morgan running. That's a great jump. Not even close at second base. Bernardina's gone, and Morgan steals his 3rd base of the game and now has 24.
And Carlos Fisher is throwing a lot of high fastballs. We're chasing him. And that one's up in the zone, but Niger gets such a great job, or great jump, excuse me, off Fisher. Not even close. So the pitcher went for a little bit more oomph on the pitch, slow to the plate.
And by the way, Niger's first ever 3-steal game.
I don't think he's done yet. Top of the 4th inning, he can steal 3rd.
Well, if he gets on another time or two, depending on what the score is.
Yeah, there's no reason for it right here. You're scoring a base hit easily by the Zim.
Zimmerman's hits tend to send people back or sideways in the outfield. And they're playing so deep, no way they throw him out. One ball, one strike to Ryan, who's had a good series. 5 for 12, a homer, 3 RBIs. Gomes, Stubbs, and Bruce all deep in this cozy ballpark. No, that ball was hanging a little bit, but Ryan got under it, and now Brandon Phillips is under it. Nationals failed to score for the first time today. They stranded only 3 runners. Morgan, an igniter today. Three and a half, good pitching, timely hitting, defense solid. And this is our top of the hour update from Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. I know you like it when this ball club puts all these different elements together, the hitting, the pitching, the defense, the speed, because it hasn't happened a whole lot this year.
Well, let's start with the defense. When you tighten up the defense and you're not giving extra outs, it makes your pitcher happy. And when your pitcher's happy and then you get him a couple of early runs, everything seems to go a lot more smoothly. And especially with the efficiency right now of Levon, he's getting ahead in the count. He's not the kind of guy that can fall behind and then try to pitch to contact. When he gets ahead, he makes some outs, gets us off the field. You don't have to stand out there in the heat, and we're scoring a bunch of runs. So it's been just a very well-played game to this point.
Leadoff man Orlando Cabrera, top of the 4th, rips it. Zimmerman a piece of it, and it comes down in foul ground for a base hit. Do or die play.
Just a shot at Zimmerman. He does pick it and get some leather on it, but he's not able to hold on to it. And sometimes a pitcher that throws the contact and makes a mistake and leaves the ball up in the zone Not the easiest position to be a first baseman or third baseman when that happens.
Here's Jay Bruce. That's an off-speed pitch and a base hit. Now they're attacking Levon early in the count, and the Reds have runners at the corners. Nobody out. Their second and third hits of the day. So Levon will have to rethink some of his first offerings as the Reds get aggressive here.
Well, and you can't just start throwing batting practice pitches either. You got to bury those pitches in their location. Try to hit your target. It's not about velocity. It's about movement and location.
Levon has thrown 11 first pitch strikes to the first 12 batters.
Well, and they're doing the same statistics we are in their dugout, and so now you have to maybe broaden your zone, widen the zone, and make them chase it. There he goes.
Outside to Gomes. Johnny Gomes struck out looking first time.
Well, if you have to give up a run right here to get a double play ball, that's not a bad result either.
Ripped right at Guzman. Nowhere to throw it, and the Nats get a break on another infield line drive. Runners did a good job of staying home. A week from Sunday will be August 1st. The Phillies are in, and the Sunday Family Fun Pack ticket includes a seat, hot dog, chips, and a soda starting at just $14. Visit nationals.com/kids to purchase your Family Fun Pack tickets. That'll be at the tail end of the next homestand that goes next Tuesday through Sunday. Braves and Phillies for 6. Next batter, Ramon Hernandez, who lined out hard to Kennedy first time. Slow roller. Time to get one. They'll get that lead runner, and the Reds are on the board. Four-6 on the fielder's choice. Hernandez, 24th RBI. Guzman thought about a throw to first for a moment because Hernandez runs very slowly. That ball just hit too soft. So Levon battles back and gets 2 very quick outs after the base hits.
Yeah, after first and third situation that looked disastrous, you get the line drive. You'll take that. Then you get a soft roller on a very good pitch. Not able to get the double play, but you'll take 2 quick outs and give up a run in return.
And he quickly goes 0-2 on Drew Stubbs, who was called out looking first time.
Pretty consistent numbers by Levon going through the order. So you'd go down in the second trip through and just go up a little bit in the third time. So they make adjustments, but so does Levon.
And the other thing he does, he gets his team off the field quickly after giving up those 2 hits. Strikeout number 4, 5th inning coming up. 6-1 Nationals. break in 2001, Victory Field, Indianapolis, hit a couple of home runs, and then the Reds called him up the very next week. And here's number 1, July of 01.
Matt Clement doing the serving.
And that was what was left of Synergy Field after they cut off the outfield to start building this ballpark.
Into it.
Into that season, he would hit 19 homers, drive in 43 runs in his first 66 games. I told you he had that burnt orange thing going. Look at that.
Yeah, what is that floating device?
That's a floating fisherman outfit. What? He was a Met? Are you kidding me?
You can already see him getting large.
Yeah, I bet he was the biggest kid on his team easily. Look at the size of that bat. And he was a giant. But now he's a Nat. And he leads off here, top of the 5th, covering the bases with Adam Dunn today.
We can go back to that Giants picture. Is that a red belt with a black shirt and orange trim?
He was destined to be a Red and a Nat, huh?
Exactly.
Well, maybe there weren't many orange. Well, there should be orange belts in Texas, but
I think that's 2 uniforms that they put together because he was so large.
You know what?
They probably didn't have pants to fit him.
Maybe he was playing for 2 teams. We should investigate.
Oh
my
yeah!
gosh! Look at that.
I'm from Texas.
Yeehaw!
Oh, he would just be not happy right now.
He's in the
clubhouse. We're in trouble.
He's going to have 58 text messages before his next at bat.
Thank goodness he's hitting. Man, we would be. He'd be hiding pieces of us all over the clubhouse.
Let's blame it on Byron.
It was Byron's idea, by the way. He and his lovely wife, Rachel, have 2 lovely boys.
Mom holds everything together while Dad's out making his calls. Two-two to Adam. And a breaking ball away gets him. 3rd strikeout by Carlos Fisher, who the Nats are seeing for the first time. You know, his dad sounds like a character, Skip Dunn.
Well, and then he says, I'm Skip Dunn, and they go, are you Adam Dunn's father? And that probably helps the sale.
I bet. I'll get you an autograph if you sign right here.
There you go.
He signs, you sign.
We all win. It's a win-win.
That's right. There's Guzman, who has struck out twice today, facing Fisher for the first time and looking at a fastball, as you should when you haven't seen a guy from the batter's box before. Top of the 5th, 1 out, 6-1 Washington. Out hitting Cincinnati 6-3. And Guzman will fly one to shallow center. Ball falling and caught over the shoulder by Cabrera, the 2-time Gold Glove winner.
This is just a fantastic play by the Gold Glover. Back to the infield. They practice that, but it's still with 2 guys barreling down up in your face. It's an outstanding grab by the Reds shortstop.
Carlos Fisher doing a good job of settling this game down for the Reds. He got the double play ball to end the 3rd. He gave up 1 hit, worked through a scoreless 4th, and he has the first 2 batters. He's due to bat 3rd in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, and a couple of all-stars not in the lineup. You have to take advantage of that when Joey Votto and Scott Rowland are not in the lineup, and some of our role players like Willie Harris taking big advantage of the last couple of days. Adam Kennedy, nice day today.
It's a fastball away to Willie Harris, who's walked, tripled, and scored 2 runs. Pretty good fastball right on the corner.
Good movement here by Fisher on the fastball. The UPS store. See it boxed up at the end there. Mr. Hannigan. He's got some good velocity when he's really smooth and quiet. Goes up around 94, 95. When he tries to hump up and muscle it, goes back to 92.
And Willie Harris on 2-2. Left side, sliding play, Brandon Phillips. And of course, he's a Gold Glover as well. Reds playing well in the field, but don't they always? 6-1 Washington. Great American Ballpark, downtown Cincinnati. Last game of a 4-game series. Nationals trying to earn a split today. Tomorrow night, it's on to Milwaukee. Masson 2 HD, 8 o'clock. And for the Brewers, those big bats, Braun, Fielder, Hart, the racing sausages, you know, they all win races there. And then it'll be Craig Stammen, 2-4 with a 5.5 ERA. Last start at Florida, he only gave up 1 earned run in 6 innings as the Nats were shut out. Chris Narveson, 8-6 with a 5.83 ERA. Your H.H. Gregg pitching matchup for tomorrow night. Johnny and Ray will start you at 7:30 Eastern. Nats Extra.
Chris Narveson, last time we saw Milwaukee was in the bullpen. Has done a very nice job when they put him into the rotation. They have had all kinds of injuries to their pitching staff this year. And then Dave Bush the other day, 9 runs in the first inning against Pittsburgh.
Great out distribution by Levon, equal opportunity.
And he's being very efficient, especially in a hot situation day to day. You don't be standing out there 15, 20 pitches.
.47 pitches, 35 strikes in 4 innings by Levon Hernandez today. Giving up a run on just 3 hits. And being a good front runner so far with this lead. That's a nice little slider to the outside corner, 1-2.
Well, it looks like Miguel Cairo here on the kinetic pitch track. Looking for something on the inner half. And an outside breaking ball.
Another line drive at a Nationals infielder.
But you hit it at the wrong guy.
He's tall.
The tallest, drink of water out there on the infield. You're not going to get it over the 6'6" giant at first base.
Drop us an email. Ask about the Nats at massinsports.com. Make sure the boss isn't watching. And if you're home, well done.
Yes. Thanks for joining us today.
As the announcer always says, delighted to have you with us. And here's Ryan Hannigan, who bounced out to short first time. He's 1 for 7 in the series. Reds don't have anybody in the on-deck circle yet. They might have gotten what they wanted out of Carlos Fisher, 2 2/3 of settling this game down. There's a swing back fastball. Maybe Fisher having a hard time finding his batting gear again. I do see him with a helmet on. There he is.
It's probably not that pumped up to go stand on deck in this heat.
Getting ready for his 4th major league at bat. On the ground to the right side for Adam Kennedy. So Levon, since those 2 base hits last inning, 5 quick outs. And Fisher will bat here again in the 5th.
Well, it's about working ahead. Get ahead. Make them fish. No, I wasn't trying to be funny with Carlos Fisher coming up. Try to get it off the inside part of the bat or the outside part of the bat, and that's pitching to contact.
Nats scored early and often today. First time they've scored in each of the first 3 innings since April 14th against the Phillies. Just nice to have some sustained offense to take some of the pressure off of that pitching staff. And quickly 0-2.
Wow, and your defense will love you for pitching like this. And they've given him some great offensive numbers today. Edinson Volquez, 2nd start after coming off of rehab.
Off speed right off the top of the barrel. By the way, guess who the last National is to swipe more than 2 bases in a game?
Soriano.
Vladimir Guerrero of the Expos in 0-2. And Marquise Grissom had 4 stolen bases way back in '92. So we're calling on some longtime franchise numbers here. Great inning for Levon Hernandez. That's his 5th strikeout this game into the 6th inning. Only 11 pitches there. Here at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Nyjer Morgan igniting things today. Levon Hernandez keeping the Reds at bay. And Adam Dunn with 1 big blow, 1 hit in this series, a 2-run homer, as Rob takes us through our Geico highlights.
It's been a nice day for the meat of the order. Ryan Zimmerman, a quick hit, and then Adam Dunn comes back with a huge home run in the 3rd inning. Opposite field, Edinson Volquez trying to right the ship with his elbow problems mechanically, and Willie Harris gets a triple and comes in to score. Adam Kennedy single, and Edinson Volquez didn't even last 3 innings. He went 6 innings against Colorado in his first start after surgery last year to repair a ligament in his elbow. Also, the flexor tendon was torn. They had to do a lot of work, and we have a guy that's ailing a little bit, and Luis Adelano with the bone chips. Maybe a lot of adrenaline in the first start for him, and then not so much today.
Adam Kennedy has walked, scored, and singled in a run today. When you folks in our opening segment saw the lineup, you must have been going, all right, where's the offense coming from today? Well, it's up and down
Pretty
throughout.
much everywhere.
Guys have done a great job. Some patient at bats early in the game.
Well, the walks killed Edinson. He walked Niger to start the game. Niger scored. He walked Willie Harris, Kennedy, Nieves. A couple of those guys scored. So the walks really haunted him until Adam Dunn, big blow to left field. Big blow by Willie Harris. But you could tell the difference in a guy that's pitching and a guy who's just trying to feel his way to the strike zone, and that was Volquez today. May take him a couple more starts, but he's not 100% pitching arm ready. May feel strong, and like I said, when you're rehabilitating, you're super strong and you're super pumped up to get back out here on the field. That doesn't mean you're able to throw every pitch for strikes.
Kennedy on a backdoor breaking ball strikes out. And Carlos Fisher, outstanding. He's given up 1 hit to the 9 men he's faced.
And he's doing it with 2 pitches. Nice 92 to 94 mile an hour fastball and a nice breaking ball at about 82. And he's made some of our guys look bad on swings too.
Busy box score today. Bernardina's 0 for 3. Will Nieves does have a walk. Guzman 0 for 3, but all the others have contributed, including Levon Hernandez.
Niger running crazy on the bases with 3 stolen bases.
One to the Nationals catcher. Chopping that breaking ball foul down the third base line.
And not in that box score is that man right there keeping the offense off the field as much as possible. He gets out there, gets the business done, concluded, back in there in front of the fan.
Yeah, even when they got a couple of hits to start the 4th inning.
Yep. He quickly got 2 outs, gave up the run though. Got right off the field.
They're in the 8th inning in Florida now. Marlins still lead the Rockies 2-1. And the Braves have added a run after 4 in Atlanta. Braves 4, Padres nothing. Will Nieves hacks one in the air out to right center. Ball's got some carry on it, and at the track, caught by Jay Bruce. Every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Miller Lite Party Night at Nationals Park. It'll happen on the next homestand. Get a scoreboard pavilion seat and a drink voucher for $20. $22 for prime games. $5 beers, so come early for the pregame happy hour at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar. Levon Hernandez, he'll go up hacking, you know he will. Base hit in the second, his 76th career RBI. First of this year, and a swinging strikeout in the 4th. And right now, Carlos Fisher of the Reds trying to complete 3 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. Bill Bray throws every day.
He's got a little Pedro Estacio to his motion.
Fisher?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. And that ball stabbed by Brandon Phillips. I don't think Levon will be too upset about not running the bases in the 6th inning. Top of the order coming up for the Reds.
Great American Ballpark. Nationals lead it 6-1 over the Cincinnati Reds. Clubhouse leaders are very important. Pudge Rodriguez, one of those guys, he's always been a leader on his team. And now in his first year with the Nationals, knows Adam Dunn is also very important to the Nationals off the field.
He's a great teammate, great person in the clubhouse. And he also play the game, play the game hard and works hard every day and work hard in his position. So, he's a tremendous teammate, and it's my first year that I play with him together in the team. But I know him, when we play against. But as a teammate, he's tremendous.
Storen and Steven Strauss.
And, of course, that's great praise coming up from a future Hall of Famer. So here we are, bottom of the 6th inning. Phillips, Cabrera, and Bruce for the Reds. As Levon Hernandez has given up only a run on 3 hits through 5. Pitch count low. Phillips is 0 for 2. Fly ball to right, ground ball to short. And a first pitch strike again by Levon Hernandez.
Somebody should figure out how many Hall of Famers, like someone like Pudge Rodriguez, has played with over 20 years. Started Nolan Ryan, obviously, back in Texas.
Yeah.
Whitey Herzog also going into the Hall of Fame this weekend with Andre Dawson. Didn't John Miller win the Ford Frick Award?
He did. On a pitch up, Phillips late for it.
Not a lot of action here by the Reds. 3 hits and a run. Cabrera, nice day. A couple of hits and an over-the-shoulder catch a little earlier. A lot of offers at the bottom.
That's the way it should be, right?
Yep.
Fair ball, and look at Adam Dunn pick it to keep it out of the corner. He'll stroll over to the bag for the first out here in the 6th inning.
Brandon Phillips has a few words for him.
Well, Adam Dunn told us his glove is what's keeping him in the major leagues right now. He surprises us from time to time.
Well, he's fearless, first of all, so he's going to get down, get in front of the ball. Right there, that's just a reaction to the play. Reactionary position. You cannot follow the ball out of the pitcher's hand. You have to just stare at the hitter. And if it comes your way, make a move.
Orlando Cabrera, he's the one Red that's been able to solve the Nats starter today. A base hit to right in the first, and then that drive off the glove of Zimmerman in the 4th. He'll bounce one up the middle, well placed. 3 for 3. Cabrera came into this game only 2 out of 12 in the series, so a big game for him. And it's Jay Bruce now. Reds are getting to the point of the ball game where they need somebody to come up with a big extra base hit. But so far, Livan Hernandez has limited them to 4 singles. Livan hasn't worked off the stretch since the 4th inning. Runner started, then stopped, and it's just off the plate for a ball. Jay Bruce, a fly ball to left, a base hit to right his last time.
Well, last time he worked off the stretch, UPS store here, it was because Cabrera had a base hit. 3 of the 4 hits for the Reds coming from Cabrera.
That ball well struck, and Bernardina has it. There's a double play at first base, and this inning is over. Things happening quickly with Livan pitching today. Bernardina used his speed to come right in. Cabrera was in no man's land. When Roger got up, threw it, the inning was over. Beautifully today, 60-some pitches, 51 strike. He's right in the middle of the 60s with his pitch count. The innings are ending quickly. And Nyjer Morgan flashing some personality here at the ballpark and then doing his thing around the bases.
Tony T. Plush. And T. Plush pushing the envelope all day with the walk, stolen base, another stolen base after he got a fielder's choice RBI. But when he is on the base paths, he is as disruptive as anybody in the big leagues. In this series, he's gotten back to T. Plush level again.
Top of the 7th inning, and Bill Bray will pitch for the 3rd time in this series. They're obviously trying to get him back on form to give them another left-hander out of the bullpen. They need somebody to give Arthur Rhodes a break here and there. He's been roughed up a bit during this series. And he takes on Nyjer Morgan, 7th inning underway. Morgan a walk, a single, an RBI grounder, 3 steals, a run scored. Kind of surprising that Alfonso Soriano didn't have 3 steals in a game in his 40-40 season back in 06.
Were you here in 06?
Yeah.
Okay, so was he the type of guy to steal second, steal third?
I remember him stealing third on a few occasions. I think Nyjer more aggressive in that area. That'll be stabbed by Ramon Hernandez for the first out here in the 7th. And now the Nats haven't had a hit since Morgan's last at bat in the 4th.
Well, you never like to just sit on a lead. You've had 6 since the 3rd inning. Try to scratch out a couple of more runs and give you a nice comfort level.
Next up will be Roger Bernardino, who's 0 for 3.
Roger's been chasing some balls up today in the zone. Needs to get back to the short, compact swing. He's strong enough, if he makes contact, to hit home runs. When you start swinging at bad balls, you're not going to hit anything.
Bernardino high in the air, right field line. It's got some carry to it, and it is over the wall for a home run. Bernardino, all 6 of his on the road this year. And he goes against the left-hander Bray to give the Nats a 7-1 lead. Nationals hit 2 home runs last night, a homer the night before, and 2 more today.
Well, the body just did a nice job here, choking up on the bat, quick in the hands, shorten the swing, made contact, and the ball just went out of here. A quick, compact swing. It's not about being big and strong and trying to muscle the ball. It's all about technique, just like in golf. The ball in the right spot on the bat, it's going to go.
Bernardino, 6 major league home runs, all of them this year, and all of them on the road. Ryan Zimmerman follows him up. The Nats have now hit 84 homers on the year. They started the day 9th in the National League in that category.
And the body looks a lot like another athlete in this area, Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, Chad. Have you ever seen that guy work out? They had that special on HBO. He does all the boxing and all that stuff.
So does this mean we have to start calling him the Deuce?
No.
Okay.
No. We call him the Body.
Oh, look at the home run hitters comparing swings. Willie went deep last night. Don't be thinking about homers, guys. Zimmerman in the air to right field, but that was off the end of the bat. And it's chased down and caught by Jay Bruce. It just didn't have that great sound to it. That'll bring up Adam Dunn with 2 outs here in the 7th. Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Adam Dunn, the other home run today. Adam Dunn is playing his 8th game as an opponent of the Cincinnati Reds in this ballpark. He's had 5 hits in those 8 games. 4 of them have gone for extra bases. So the Nats in the last 3 games now have scored 7, 8, and 7 runs for a total of 22. Pounding out 26 hits. So they're not wasting their hits, Rob. They're not leaving many guys on base.
No, they're doing a great job. Rick Eckstein is able to sleep through the night now.
2 nights ago when the Nats lost 8-7, they stranded 5. Last night when they won 8-5, they stranded 5. And today, leading 7-1, they've stranded just 3. Adam Dunn's gone. Foul tip held on. Roger Bernardino goes deep, and a crowd in Cincinnati about to stretch. The Nats have had plenty to celebrate today. And after 6.5, it's 7. By Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Celebrate the world we share. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, right on the banks of the Ohio. Roger Bernardina went Riverside for a home run there. And the Nats have a nice lead of 6 runs. Ralph Houk lost yesterday. Longtime Yankee, Tiger, Red Sox manager. Great baseball man. We talked about how hot St. Louis is. And they're scoreless in the second at home against the Phillies today. And Roy Oswalt. Now talk of Philadelphia are possibly within the division to St. Louis. And Rob, we're 9 days away from the deadline.
Yeah, none of that matters as long as Roy Oswalt holds all the cards with the no-trade clause. But as he told me on my show a month ago, he'd be willing to try to help the ball club if the trade meant it would bring a bunch of guys in return.
Oswalt would kind of strike me as the kind of guy who would not want to be a rent-a-player for a couple of months and then just say adios to that team as well.
Well, he's not. He's got another year with, I think it's $16 million next year, and then an option for, I think, another $16 after that. So he's not going to be cheap if you trade for him. He's locked in for at least one more after this year.
Livan Hernandez to Johnny Gomes, 7th inning underway. Gomes has struck out looking and lined out to short. There's that big breaking ball, and Livan just picks it off, flips it over to Dunn for the first out in the 7th.
And this is a perfect kind of game for Livan where he can work ahead. That is 16 of 19 first pitch strikes to hitters today. So working ahead, they're swinging early now, the second and third time through the lineup, and give this guy a little bit of a cushion, and he just tightens things up a little bit and becomes even harder to hit off of.
Jordan Smith for the Reds.
Think about Roy Oswalt. I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, Livan knocks that one down too. Boy, he's in a panic, isn't he?
He's in a rush. I don't know if you watch how he warms up in between innings. He just lobs the ball in, gets the 7 in, and okay, I'm ready to go. I'm not going to expel any extra energy that I don't have to.
If they would allow a hammock out there, I'm sure he'd have.
He is as comfortable and cool customer as I've ever seen on a baseball field, and he's like a kid. He's having fun at the same time. This is the major leagues.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be so cool.
Somebody told me the only thing he does quickly is play golf.
He's an excellent golfer.
He is.
He's an excellent athlete. That's the thing. You may think he's pudgy or whatever. He's an excellent baseball player.
I think it was the most recent issue of Nationals magazine at the ballpark. A day at the golf course with Livan and Tyler Clippard, and he had a lot of great golf tips in that article.
Tyler?
No. Although Clippard had a hole-in-one in Florida this year. No, Livan had some really nice golf tips.
The Yankee Clipper had a hole-in-one.
At Duran Country Club in Vieira.
Were there witnesses?
Yeah.
I'm never golfing again. Getting back to Roy Oswalt, he has a restaurant and a home in Weir, Mississippi.
Drew Stubbs drills that ball to center. Niger. How about that? We'll get you to your Oswalt story, Rob, but you may want to do it when Livan's not pitching. On to the 8th. Things are happening quickly. inning coming up. Niger Morgan, the igniter. Niger, the igniter. Dunn, the slugger. Number 23 opposite field. Bernardina, the greyhound. And he goes deep for the 6th time this year. All of them on the road. And, of course, Levon pitching great. So the offense is nice and relaxed. And the defense is playing well, Rob.
Well, when you catch it and throw it, and you're playing solid defense right there, good things will happen. Pitchers working fast. Diving catch, double them up, then come up and go yard. That one does cross that yellow line. And so Roger Bernardina has another home run on the docket. How many at-bats does he have this year? 3-something?
Roger Bernardina has 4 at-bats today and 204 on the season.
See, now, you give him 600 at-bats, you're talking 20-plus home runs.
Yeah. Well, I told you.
I don't think you need more than that. And like you said,
I think I mentioned a month.
75, 280.
Yeah, a month ago, I think I mentioned he could be a 20-20 guy because we know he could steal 20 bases.
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't want to put that on him. You don't want to start labeling him, hey, he's a 20 home. But you just keep doing what you're doing. Work the counts, shorten up the swing. You know, whatever you want to say about Barry Bonds, he used to always choke up 2 inches on the bat.
Yes, he did.
Keep those hands quick.
And he still hit for power. Guzman. 1 pitch and an out to Brandon Phillips starting off the 8th inning. First 10,000 fans in the ballpark next Tuesday receive a free T-shirt presented by Hard Times Cafe. Nats, Braves, Strasburg scheduled to pitch on T-shirt Tuesday. Nationals.com for all your ticket information.
Great chili at that Hard Times Cafe. We went there in the winter caravan.
All right, now Levon's not pitching, Rob. What's going on with Roy Oswalt that you were talking about?
Oh, okay. He just makes his home. He's got, you know, a home down there in Mississippi. He's got a restaurant down there in Mississippi. And when this whole thing started, that he never said he wanted to be traded from Houston. He said he would be open to a trade if it would help the organization move forward and get back to being competitive. But when you've got everything going on right around the Houston area, he doesn't need to accept a trade.
Well, he's earned that right.
Yeah, I mean, you get to a point where you've got the power when you go in to negotiate a deal. Part of it's the no trade. It's just, and you got seniority, basically. How many guys refuse trades at the deadline?
Well, Jake Peavy comes to mind.
Jake Peavy, Palmeiro.
Let's see how close Jordan Smith was with this one.
Kinetic right here showing you. Looks like a strike. Ball.
4th Cincinnati pitcher of the day. So the home plate umpire, Ed Hickox, has been readjusting to lots of pitchers on one side and getting real used to one guy on the other side today. Willie has walked, tripled. He's 1 for 2, and he's scored 2 runs.
Well, and working quickly, too, and throwing strikes benefits the pitcher from the umpire standpoint. Everybody gets in a rhythm. He likes someone working quickly. So does his defense. Keeps them in the game. Throw a couple of runs up there. It's a good day. And right now, he can maybe try to complete the game, or at least be a bridge to the end of the bullpen.
Well, he's thrown 74 pitches in 7 innings. 10.5 pitches per. And he's gone the distance once this year. Remember the 1-0 shutout of the Dodgers at home. His 48th career complete game that was, and his 8th career shutout.
So can we say he's gone green because he's so economical?
Oh, he's saving the environment around this ball club right now, no doubt about it. You know, the bullpen does need a breather every once in a while. Even in Steven Strasburg's games, they've had to pitch 3 innings. 3 1/3 last night. And those were not easy innings last night, were they?
No.
3-2 to Willie Harris, who drills it to right field, and Willie's 2 for 3. They have to get out the calculator and recalculate Willie Harris, as he's been trying to get off that interstate forever. Strasburg, since June the 8th, the most strikeouts in baseball. And I think, if I checked correctly last night, he's within about 10 of the overall rookie lead in strikeouts, considering guys who've been around all year. By the way, Willie Harris is now batting 197. Good for him. It's been a tough year for Willie, and he's showing some signs of life with that bat. He had a nice weekend at home right before the break. Adam Kennedy has contributed an RBI single today. He's walked and scored, singled a run home in the third. Eight hits, 7 runs. The Nats did benefit from 4 early walks by Volquez, as 3 of those bases on balls led to runs.
All this happened after the rain delay a couple of nights ago, 3 nights ago now.
Well, maybe there was some karma, because that same night the Washington D.C. area got some badly needed rain. We've had a big time drought going on the East Coast, and the Nats responded the last 3 ball games now with lots of offense. One-two pitch to Kennedy, inside target, and he'll just fight it off into right center field. Willie Harris stops at second. Harris 2 hits, Kennedy 2 hits, and Lee Vaughn an RBI hit at the bottom of the order. Let's have a look at our largest win percentage improvements over last year. The Reds are in there, the Nats are in there, and of course the Padres and Mets lead the way. The Braves are just fantastic right now. Get ready for one blockbuster hit after another at Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia.
Now, how far away from that, from us in D.C., is the Hollywood Casino? Can we get up there?
A couple of hours. Yeah,
hour and a half. Okay.
Oh, you can you can be into West Virginia quickly.
They got a golf course for you?
Well, I'll find one. They got a grassy knoll. I'll go out and hit some balls if they don't have a course.
Well, I'll drive you around. I'm just not down with the whole golf thing. I'm just still not over the Tyler Clifford hole-in-one. I'm selling my golf clubs. Done.
Will Nieves with a hot shot to deep short. Cabrera, Phillips, safe at first, barely. That would have been an unbelievable double play. That Cabrera is really something, and Phillips quick on the pivot.
Really something might be putting it mildly. He is a fabulous shortstop, clutch player in the postseason. And this is just an outstanding play by 2 athletic middle infielders. Nice hustle.
Rob, that's a guy 35 years old playing shortstop like that.
He's one of my favorites.
I mean, you look at him and Ozzie and Omar Vizquel, Barry Larkin.
It's hard to believe how much Orlando has moved around both leagues.
Well, let's see. Montreal, Boston, Angels, White Sox, Oakland, Minnesota, now Cincinnati. And he's a .275 career hitter.
No, he's a strong hitter, clutch hitter, just an amazing defensive player. We talked about how Boston has not had a decent shortstop. I mean, Marco Scudero's excellent, and Gonzalez and some of those. They just didn't play well in Boston. Edgar Renteria did not play well there. They spent a ton of money. You'd still have Orlando Cabrera there.
Yeah, and when he went to Boston, he hit .294 in 04 in 58 games.
Helped them get a world championship.
Well, listen to this. He drove in 31 runs. He had .379 in the LCS, drove in 3 runs in the World Series.
I don't think you could do much more than that, right?
Boy, that grass sure must have been greener on the other side of that fence. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Livan Hernandez, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI hit.
Let's just put it this way: between Renteria and Lugo, $72 million spent on 2 shortstops. Man, I don't even know. I think Marco Scudero is another 15.
Livan up the middle, and it's knocked down by the bare hand of Smith. Then he almost threw it away. Nats get a couple of hits. They've stranded only 5 today, leading 7-1. Baseball broadcast on MASN, brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. And by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. When Livan Hernandez pitches for the Nats, it's almost always a guarantee he's going to be around late in the ball game. Here he is going out for his 8th inning. Rob, tremendous low pitch count and a very efficient outing today.
Well, and here's a guy that has made over 400 major league starts. He knows what he's doing out there. When he gets a lead, he pitches with the lead, and he's just been in control since we got a bunch of runs early in the ball game. So it's been a very well pitched game today by Livan, but also how he fields his position, how he uses the bat when he's up at the plate. So he's an all-around great presence when he's on the field.
And, of course, Livan gave up a couple of hits, never panicked, got some quick outs, and he's really gotten his team off the field quickly during his innings today on a very hot day.
It's been muggy for 4 days, and this was a short, quick turnaround from last night. Awful, miserable night. Good win for the ball club. Guys are tired. They've lost a lot of water weight, so you don't want them standing around. That's when bad things happen. And so he's been around 12 pitches an inning, and get him right off the field and get him hitting.
Bottom of the 8th, Miguel Cairo. Evidently somebody finally able to hold him hitless at least for a couple of at-bats. Cairo 5 out of 10 in the series, 0 for 2 today, and Livan gets one on the corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 8th underway.
This is everything you want out of your pitcher. Pitch according to the game, pitch according to the elements, go deep into the ball game.
By the way, the Rockies tied that game in Florida. Top of the 9th now. Colorado 2, Florida 2. Nationals are 4.5 games behind the Marlins. Cairo Hannigan, then the pitcher spot for the Reds here. Bottom 8.
Well, we still have 29 games left against under 500 opponents. Could still make a run at a very good record. Going to be getting some pitchers back here soon. It's great to hear the things about Detweiler and Zimmerman.
Ross Detweiler, 7 great innings for Double-A Harrisburg last night. Jordan Zimmerman, evidently no problems coming out of his most recent appearance last evening, which was a couple of days late because of a sore neck, but nothing to do with arm, elbow, shoulder. And that one's low, 2-2.
You don't want to have to hang your hat on guys that aren't here. We have plenty of talent on the bench, plenty of talent in the pitching staff. It's just putting it all together and getting on a run. Rattling off like we were early in the season, winning series after series, and 7 out of 10 wins.
Big breaking ball. He had Cairo reaching. Little fly ball to Niger Morgan for the first out here in the 8th. All right, we're on to Milwaukee after this one. 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. MASN 2 HD. Craig Stammen and Chris Narveson an hour earlier Saturday. We'll find out in the next day or two who's starting in Adelano's place on Sunday. Day off Monday. The Nats are home to host the Braves Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But those are your next 5 presented by H.H. Gregg. Livan now 5 in a row since the base hit by Cabrera in the 6th inning. First pitch fastball to Ryan Hannigan. Up the middle, Livan tried to kick it. Now he looks into the dugout.
Well, he's got some nifty dance moves. This is a shot right back up in the box. Get out of the way. Don't try to knock that down with your leg, thankfully, on Livan. Sometimes you're just better to give up the hit than take the pain.
Lance Nix appears in just about every Reds game at some point as a pinch hitter. Base hit last night. Double on Tuesday. And this guy's got another hit. How about that?
He is a machine.
Well, this game isn't over yet. The Nats lead by 6. The meat of the Cincinnati order will be up at least one more time. We could see Joey Votto at some point. Here's Brandon Phillips.
And that'll get our bullpen moving around a little bit. But the one continuous theme all day, Bob, has been a lot of balls on the ground. A lot of ground balls, line drives, a couple of fly balls deep in the outfield, but nothing very substantial. And that's what's kept Levon out there this long.
So the Nationals warm up a couple of pitchers. Righty-lefty action in the bullpen. Joel Peralta and Sean Burnett. And Sean got a big out here last night in the 7th inning when he got Joey Votto on that RBI ground ball with a rally building. Lance Nix is now 7 for 32 as a pinch hitter this year.
There you see his averages. He's at 83 today. Averages right around 100. He's gone up to 123 back on that complete game. Over the course of his long career, right on the line of 7 innings per start.
Brandon Phillips 1 for 11 in this series, 0 for 3 today.
There's your swing back fastball, a little low.
And he gets the touch pitch. Looked like a pretty good breaking ball. He didn't get the call from Ed Hickox. 3-0.
He's been around the zone all day. 2-0. Let's see where this ends up.
Well, a little bit high, according to the box.
Just kind of stayed up. Even when he's got a long inning brewing, get some clouds to move in and get in front of the sun.
Levon wants to force Phillips to put this ball in play.
Well, force the issue when he's going away, trying to get him to pull a ball, maybe hit it towards the middle infielders and get out of this inning.
And you don't want the bases loaded for Cabrera, a contact hitter coming up next.
3 hits on the day.
Yep. Up the middle, Kennedy. How about getting one? And close at first base. Wow. Very good range by Adam Kennedy, and Guzman almost turned a spectacular 4.63.
Well, Jim Riggleman's been trying to get as many reps for guys like Kennedy. Get him to play a little bit better defense. Great defensive stop. Great recovery. Anybody a hair slower than Brandon Phillips, and it's a great double play to get out of the inning.
Here's Cabrera. Base hit to right, base hit to third, base hit up the middle. And he pops it up on the first pitch, and Adam Dunn is right there. And the Reds are gone in the 8th. They strand a couple, they've left 4. And Levon Hernandez pitches this one into the 9th. Along the banks of the Ohio, the Nats are on top big. 7-1, top of the 9th inning. If you're traveling, take the Nationals and television with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv. See every Nationals game live or on demand on your computer. Go to Nationals.com to order, get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Hard-throwing Nick Massa takes over here in the top of the 9th inning. He pitched a scoreless inning and a third here on Tuesday night after a scoreless 8th on Monday. The Nats will send up the top of the order.
I was going to say, I got to give some credit to my opposite number next to us in the booth, Jeff Brantley. We're tied here in Cincinnati with saves with Tom Hume, but he got my iPad working today, and it only took me 4 days. So, Cowboy, thank you, Cowboy.
By the way, in the bottom of the 9th, the Florida Marlins had 2 on, nobody out. They scored and beat the Colorado Rockies 3-2. Leo Nunez got the save. Julius Chassin, the loser.
That trade, that Mike Jacobs for Leo Nunez trade.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, and they were great. You had Joaquim Soria, who was an all-star again this year, and Nunez in the same bullpen. I mean, you talk about 2 flamethrowers in the same bullpen in Kansas City.
Here's Nyjer Morgan. Fastball in there. Morgan today 1 for 3, but a walk, an RBI grounder, a Nationals record, 3 stolen bases. His first career 3 steal game. Here's the off-speed pitch that Massa drops in there. He was originally drafted by the Rangers. Went to the White Sox in the John Danks deal, and then over here in the Ken Griffey Jr. deal at the deadline 2 years ago. Morgan on the breaking ball, right back from where it came. And Nyjer Morgan, 5 for 15 in this series, and on base for the 4th time today.
Well, T. Plush came to play today, and we love it when he does play like this. Walk, steal a base, score. Drive in a run, steal a base. Steal another base. And disrupt the whole flow for the starting pitcher. Drive people crazy.
And they're not holding him here. That may indicate to me that if he goes to second, it would be defensive indifference, or the Reds would be insulted by that. Phillips bobbles.
Whoa.
Almost cost him the play at first with Bernardino hustling. That'll be 1 out here in the 9th.
Well, Nyjer Morgan got in front of Brandon Phillips and bobbled the ball for just a half a second, and Bernardino is just so fast. Makes this a close play. There you see Nyjer getting over the ball. If it hits him, he's out. And the bobble allowed Bernardino to gain on the base. Great sign of this ball club, Bob, from day one with Jim Riggleman. Hustle all the time. Everybody's always hustling, running out. Little ground balls, things like that.
Here's Zimmerman. Ryan 1 for 4. RBI grounder, base hit, a run scored. Right off the end of the bat, in the air for Ramon Hernandez. All right. How about a big guy from Texas with our Ford drive of the game?
How about you cover the bases with a young man, and he gives you something to talk about, a long ball to left field. Adam Dunn, 23rd home run of the season. Edinson Volquez says, how are you going to stop that? 6'6" and full of muscle.
Adam says, I hit that ball 365.
Just enough.
He now has 23 homers, 61 RBIs.
Batting average near 280.
Crazy day for Adam. 3 strikeouts, but the homer. 1 for 14 in this series. Niger at second base. Off the plate inside. Still scoreless in St. Louis, middle of the 4th. As Rob previewed earlier, really good matchup between Cole Hamels and Adam Wainwright.
One of the best curveballs in the game with Wainwright. One of the best changeups in the game, Cole Hamels.
Off the plate. 3-1.
At least neither team or neither team spending a lot of time on the field in St. Louis.
You got that right. Although the Phillies have 5 hits, the Cardinals have none. 3-1 to Dunn. Now, if he was looking for a heater, he got off speed, outside corner away. Love to see him make contact one more time before this series ends. Not that time. Nationals strand a runner. They've left 6. It's a 6-run lead into the bottom of the 9th. Johnny, he is the Nationals marathon man this year, and the pitch count is what truly impresses you today. In 8 innings, 89 pitches, 65 strikes for Livan Hernandez.
And he is a bullpen's best friend today. Quick turnaround from last night's game. Hopefully he can complete this game, get on the bus, get on the plane, go to Milwaukee.
Nats will shore up the defense behind Livan. Let's have a look at our Verizon Fios Nats Extra coming up. Breaking down Niger's exciting day. Ray will have a lot to talk about getting around the bases. Another big day at the plate. The guys 7 runs on 10 hits. I'm sure they'll talk about Livan. I know Rob and I will as we contribute to Nats Extra coming up. There's a slider. First of all, Desmond's at short. And there's a new up-the-middle defender next to him, Alberto Gonzalez. And nobody can reach that one because they were playing Jay Bruce to pull. And then Adam Kennedy shovels from second base over to first, and Adam had a good day at second.
Adam had a good day, period. Full fastball.
For the Reds, only their 6th hit of the day, all singles. They've only had consecutive.
Ryan Zimmerman's still there.
He's not going anywhere. They've only had consecutive hits twice, scoring a run in the 4th and then shut down by Levon in the 8th.
I just didn't want Zim to feel left out. We're showing the rest of the infield.
Yeah, he gets pretty upset about stuff like that.
He's just there every day. When's the last time he had a day off?
March 30th. I don't know.
And Steve McCaddy on his way out to the mound. I don't know what this will be about. 92 pitches on the day. He jumped right out of it. He saw something he didn't like, and he just came right out of the dugout.
A lot of action down in Woodbridge, Virginia during the month of July, still with our buddies, the Potomac Nationals. Showcasing the Nats of the future. Affordable ticket plans on sale, 703-590-2311. Go down to Fitzner Stadium in Woodbridge and join the party with our single-A ball club, the Potomac Nationals. Johnny Gomes, the hitter. Gomes is 0 for 3, strikeout, liner to short, bouncer back to the pitcher. And he jumps out at a breaking ball and pops it into short center. Niger Morgan is there.
Bob, watch Levon and McCaddy after the exchange. Whatever was said, not that deep other than, okay, I still got it. And he just passed McCaddy on the back. I still got this. Got a couple more pitches left in this body.
Next up will be Ramon Hernandez.
And anytime I've talked to Steve McCaddy about Levon Hernandez, he just is glowing because he's so easygoing, so easy to work with. Works hard, works efficiently.
Seems like as soon as he gets on base, something kicks in and he gets quick outs. It's happened a couple of times today. Most notably in that 4th inning. It was still a 6-1 game when the Reds had scored. But after 2 leadoff hits, he shut them down, Gomes, Hernandez, and Stubbs, very quickly.
Well, the sign of a truly good major league player is to be able to slow everything down in your mind. When everything else looks like it's chaos, he's able to somehow just, all right, I got this right here. I'm going to make a pitch and get myself out of a jam. That's how you pitch up here.
Fastball up. Jim Riggleman sends Craig Stammen to the mound at the Hitters Haven in Milwaukee against the team with 121 home runs. The Brewers the most in the National League. Boy, Milwaukee's problem is their pitching. They signed Jeff Suppan a couple of years ago for $40 million. Let him go last month. Looking for answers. And a breaking ball hit to center right off the end of the bat.
You got Niger Morgan out there somewhere.
1 out to go for the Nats to earn a sweep. And for Levon to pitch his 49th career complete game.
Wow, this would be sweet to come back and win the final 2 games of this 4-game series.
And of course, I said sweep, I meant splits. Wishful thinking does work its way into the psyche every once in a while. Hey, they swept the last 2. Better to win the last 2 than lose the last 2.
Forget those first 2. The last 2 days we could sweep the series.
There were games here Monday and Tuesday?
Not that I noticed.
Well, the Nats, it's simple. They just need to win some road games. I mean, this team is a different ball club at home, 25-21. Trying to make this a 3-4 road trip with 3 to go. Drew Stubbs the hitter. Runner goes. Defensive indifference, and Jay Bruce down to second base on an 0-2 count. That's close.
And look at that. Maybe his hardest pitch or fastest pitch of the day. He was feeling it. He wanted it. 0-2, 88 miles an hour, swing back fastball. Just missed.
1-2, breaking ball, hit to left. Will it stay in? Yes, it will. Right into the glove of Willie Harris. And the game is over. And in 2 hours and 50 minutes, Lee Vaughn, as they say, scatters 7 hits and beats the hard-hitting Cincinnati Reds with his 49th career complete game, 7-1.
Well, the MO of a great pitcher is to be able to pitch out of jams right there. Even a bad breaking ball that gets struck very well, not well enough. Nice complete game by Livan Hernandez. That was big for the ball club.
In a ballpark where not many pitchers come in and throw complete games. 103 pitches, 73 strikes for Livan Hernandez. His second of the season, 49th of the career. The other one, of course, was a shutout. Well, not today, but pretty close to it.
Bob, it was working ahead in the count. That's where Livan or any pitcher is at their best. When you work ahead, you put the other team on the defensive, and then they make mistakes and swing at bad pitches that you want them to swing at. That was the difference today. And then all the great runs early off a struggling Edinson Volquez.
Livan did not walk a batter, struck out 5, but he didn't strike anybody out after the 5th inning. It was all about contact after that and making quality pitches.
And being consistent. I mean, it's basically 260 the first time through, 250, 247 the second time, and then 257. I mean, he's right there. Same type of guy all the way through the lineup. And he was able to go deep into the game.
All right, here's Livan with some more work to do, and Byron Kerr.
All right, a complete game, Livan. It has to be a big deal for you here as Jim's in the way. Anyway, very impressive work for you today. The 9 innings, solid work. Tell me about how you felt today.
I feel really good. It's a little hot today, and try to wake up early so the blood is starting to go in the body. More activity because it's too hot outside and too early again. Get out 7:30 and starting packing and do some stuff, and because I don't want to be in the bed to 9 o'clock, 10, and but I feel very good. I think that one helped me a lot, and get up early and coming to a stadium early, and starting to do some things and ready for the game.
What does it mean to the team to get these 2 wins in a row, to see the offense rolling along and beat a team that was #1 in the National League on runs scored?
Cincinnati is a great team, and you got a great ball club. And, it's a lot of power hitters on the team. Cabrera is you can see today, he got 4 hits. And, I try to concentrate and don't make it too many mistakes. And when I throw the ball, and he helped me a lot. And the team, then I got to say thank you to the team that scored a lot of runs. And when I scored 6 runs, I'd say I got a chance to go longer today. So
congratulations, Livan.
Thank you very much.
Livan Hernandez, win number 7 on the year. Will I go back up to Bob?
All right, Byron, thank you very much. For Byron Kerr and Rob Dibble, Bob Carpenter, the Nats gain the split. They win it today 7-1. Tune in tomorrow night, MASN 2 HD, the Nats and the Brewers. First of 3 from Miller Park will get you going at 7:30. This has been a presentation of MASN. Stay tuned now. Nats Extra coming up with Johnny and Ray right now. And from the booth in Cincinnati, a nice win for the boys. So long for just a while.